Ladies and gentlemen, Merry Christmas to those of you celebrating, and a happy holidays to all the rest of you. Maybe you're celebrating with your family, maybe some friends, maybe just by yourself. Listen, that's absolutely also okay. Just catching up on some Gotham content. The year is going to end really well, and this is going to be a big update video on all things Hans Niemann, Magnus Carlsen, and so on and so forth. The video is going to be split into a couple of parts. First of all, I am going to give you an update on the lawsuit between Hans, Magnus, Chess.com, and Hikaru. A whole blender of individuals in this lawsuit, as the parties, I guess, being sued, have all responded in some capacity, and I will take you through that. Then, Hans Niemann just finished the tournament in Spain, and Hans actually did extremely well. He's at his highest rating ever, and is now in the top 30 chess players in the world. I mean, he's still going up the ranks. And after that, after we take a look at that, folks, it's getting better. You could not have asked for a bigger drama. You thought seeing your family members with crazy political views was going to be a thing to celebrate, you know, in Christmas and New Year's and all that stuff? No. Everybody is in Kazakhstan right now for the World Rapid and Blitz Championships. This is the first time Magnus Carlsen and Hans Niemann are going to see each other in person since their game in St. Louis at the Sinkfield Cup when this entire cheating scandal broke out. And this is the first time Hans, Hikaru, and Magnus might be in the same room in, like, I don't know, 10 years. Like, literally, I have no idea what's going to happen. If Magnus and Hans get paired, is Magnus not going to play? Is one of them going to punch the other? This is top tier stuff. We're going to get into all that, all right? Bear with me. I'm going to try to make it worth your while. Hopefully this is a nice little holiday present. First things first, right? Like, we're not going to read the massive documents that these folks filed. TLDR, Magnus Carlsen files a motion to dismiss the lawsuit. And listen, again, I'm not a lawyer, but the kind of legal breakdown is that when these things get filed, these lawsuits, the party does a motion to dismiss and provides reasoning why. I like these articles summarizing this. You can, of course, go find the document and read through it all yourselves. But I love the spiciness of the lawyers, like arguing that Hans spent years trying to create a reputation as the bad boy of chess. First of all, thought I was doing that, but okay. And now wants to cash in by blaming others. After the allegations derailed his career, they, of course, bring up the report and, you know, Hans' admissions and so on. And then, you know, the lawsuit has kind of said that there was a conspiracy between, like, Magnus, Chess.com, and I think even Hikaru. So, like, they kind of tried, you know, they pulled that apart as well. And then there was a question about the whole jurisdiction. So, like, Hans is, I think the address list or something is like he's a Connecticut resident, but because it occurred in Missouri, it's like trying to be, they're trying to do it in Missouri, but they have what's called anti-slap laws. Not this slap, but like SLAPP, which I think is covered here in the Chess.com article. Chess.com also filed a motion to dismiss. We'll get into all the chess games. Don't worry. Bear with me. It's Christmas. Come on. Don't get, you know, oh, I'm going to leave. Chess.com cited, yeah, so here they are, anti-slap statutes, which stands for anti-strategic lawsuit against public participation. I mean, good God, these guys and their acronyms, anti-slap. Chess.com filed like 40 or 50 different case law mentioned over 27 pages. 71. Chess.com cited 71 other legal cases for why this lawsuit should not stand. It's crazy. And I mean, one of these things is this jurisdiction. Connecticut, therefore, most significant relationship. Basically, they're like, we're not going to do this case in Missouri. We got to do it in Connecticut because that's where he's from. This is the entire thing here that Chess.com published. And naturally, Hikaru did the same. But Hikaru's was kind of different because Hikaru's like, I wasn't even mentioned anywhere. You know, like I was barely mentioned in the report. Like, I don't even know why I'm being sued. So his was a little bit different. And he also stated, like, his lawyer stated a bunch of different legal cases. So essentially right now that's where the lawsuit is. They're all trying to get it dismissed, and we're about to see. I don't exactly know what the legal process is, but everyone has responded in some way, and my God, is it spicy. Now, in the meantime, Hans is in what was in Spain and now is in Kazakhstan, and he just played a tournament. Now, give me about like 15, 20 minutes here. We're gonna just kind of show some games. We don't have to go crazy in depth, but I mean, Hans has been on fire. Like, he has been playing super well. I'll take you through some of his games. This was his first round game against WIM from Armenia. And in these tournaments, you know, you gotta play lower rated players before you can go for the glory. And yeah, Hans kind of did that. Like, his opponent castled, so he just lashed out with h5. Just a very provocative move, inducing h4 out of his opponent, so sort of meeting him there. And then he castled, and then he got really aggressive with this move, knight g4, which has a couple of ideas. Pressure here, opening the bishop. But another very sneaky idea here. White played rook b1 so that pawn was guarded, and the knight can come here. And Hans here played something so nice. Such a nice idea here from black. It's actually already almost the complete unraveling of the white position. It's an amazing little combination. And Hans played bishop c4, which, you know, at your level, white just wouldn't see that the rook is hanging. At this level, though, it's just a slight destabilizing of that pawn, making sure only the king guards it. And now he plays f6. And white here greatly misevaluates the danger. It looks like black is sort of blocking his position. No, because now there's this very nice move, g5. And you know when a move like that can happen? Like, bad things are on the horizon. So the point is that after it takes, you don't have to take. I mean, you can go back to e3. It doesn't matter. I'm going to keep hammering away. Not right away, all right? Not right away. But my attack is going to build up. Like, I'm going to go here, and then h4, and then etc. Instead of that, Hans gets in, and he's got lockjaw like a pit bull here, all right? He just, I mean, look at it. Queen slides over to replace the rook. And now the bishop goes back to attack the rook, and Hans is like, so take it. Oh my. You can't. You take it, the queen gets in. I mean, it's horrible. So white goes here, and Hans says, no, I insist, take my rook. Sacrifices the rook for the bishop, and then e5, a nice move, kicking out the knight. I mean, there's just nothing you can do. Nothing you can do. The knight goes here, Hans takes. Up material, king is completely safe. And the wildest thing is, it actually looks like white is about to deliver mate, but white is not about to deliver mate. The king is actually just forced in front of the rook. And, well, you'll see what happens. Game ends in a very similar way. Queen d7 is what's played. Hans is completely safe. And a very kind of sad ending to this game, as, you know, white is on the verge of mating black. Black just goes here, but that's not even a defensive move. It's an offensive move. And bishop to f1 check. Just an absolutely gorgeous attacking game here from Hans. Like, start to finish, all right? And he wins one, all right? Not one. This game was wild. This was Hans playing FM from India. And this was a really long game. I'm going to kind of click you through it. It started with a very imbalanced, complex English. And Hans, as you can see here, is looking for another same-side attack. Like, he's looking to get something going here on the light squares. He wins a pawn. Rook is just out, just doing its thing on a5. I don't know what it's doing there. And here comes Hans. Knight g5, queen f3, knight into f7. I mean, attack just looks absolutely devastating here. He takes, queen c6, and I mean, it's just mate, right? Like, it's got to be mate somewhere. Look at this. Look what Hans does to his opponent. That king is just dancing on h5. Hans gets in, but here, he had to go here, here, and here. And then wait a little bit for checkmate. He had to, like, give a check, and the king comes up, and then he had to find queen d7. Because of this, apparently white is just winning. Now, Hans did not see that, and instead did it this way, and black, to his credit, actually avoided mate by blocking his king and using the king as a defensive measure, And look at this, check, and the bishop blocks. So Hans wins the queen back, but now it's a long rook endgame, and, you know, the game was very violent until it wasn't. Hans now has to bully the king, and he has to pick up the pawn. Very nice idea here. Checking the king into a check, not just taking the pawn. Very instructive. I'm out of breath, man. COVID sucks. And it takes a very long time, all right? It takes a very long time, but a queen will beat 2 rooks if the queen has a bunch of extra pawns and if the king is very weak. And right now, that's just what's going on. And Hans was winning for about 50 moves in this game, but, you know, it took him a very long time to convert it. He ends up checking, and then starts pushing all the rest of his pawns. And there we go. And yeah, black just decided that he didn't want to sit here for another 40 moves, and resigned. So that was a fun one. Hans starts with 2 very convincing wins. He never stopped. So in round 3, Hans had the black pieces versus Firat Burak from Turkey. And Hans played this very fascinating line, b5. So he's like, okay, I'm going to create some ASAP imbalance. And then he just played normal. This is just normal stuff. He took as much space as he possibly could on the queen side. And then white played in this kind of King's Indian attack style where white is like, I'm going to mate you. And black is like, okay, that's adorable that you think that. But if you don't mate me, I'm going to create an avalanche over here. And I'm going to beat you if you don't beat me. Right? So it's basically like either black gets mated or black wins the game on the queen side. That's sort of how this works. White plays dc5. Hans comes back, takes b4, takes the bishop, now hg, and does this. And basically, white just sort of has some soft spots. I'm trying not to have like a coughing fit. Knight takes a2, and g6. Maybe a bit of an overreaction, but I mean, just in general, like if you go back a couple moves here to like this position, it was always going to be very difficult for white to defend and try to attack at the same time. White probably should have played a3. To be honest with you, I'm not really sure why white didn't. I think he just thought he was winning the game. And Hans was like, I'm not taking the pawn. And black can take, white can take black's pawn with check, but yeah, just rook c8 here. I'm not like completely sure what was overlooked, but I guess, like I said, I think white just thought he was mating. Like, I think white just went completely all in, and sometimes when you go completely all in, you lose everything, like in poker. But in chess, there's no, you know, you don't have to wait for anybody to draw any cards. You just make one rook move. Like, white went on this massive monster belligerent attack, and black just moved his rook. You can check me, and my king will just run to safety. And that's exactly what happened. And I just defended against mate. I have more material than you. And Hans comes back, trades queens, gets into an endgame, and just d4. And the craziest thing is that he's only up a pawn, but the game is over. Because white has to play like some very passive move, and I will just trap your knight. Or you will play this very passive move, and then I will just get your pawn and promote. So Hans just making it look effortless against GMs. Just absolutely breathtaking. Now, the Turkish delegation decided that they were going to go after Hans. So they brought Vahap Sanal, who's one of the top-rated players in Turkey, like top 3, top 4. They have Yilmaz over there. They got Atalik, I think, but they have... they also have Ipatov, I think. But yeah, he's one of the best players in Turkey, and he's like, okay, well, Hans, you know, you beat my countrymen. I'm gonna get you back. Hans is like, yeah, all right, yeah, we'll see about that. A4, get my knight out, we chillin', you know, slow play, just slow play, no trades yet. In fact, this game didn't have many trades at all. One pawn trade. Hans secures control of the b5 square. Nice. Black goes here. Now we have a rook trade. Now Hans just kicks the knight out of the center. The knight leaves. Hans doesn't want a knight trade. And now Hans goes on a same side attack again. He's doing this a lot. Bishop h6 counterattack. e3 defends the knight. Bishop goes back. And Hans now starts applying this queenside squeeze. So he took some space over here, pushed back black's pieces, And now he's gonna apply the queenside squeeze, knight b5 and so on, and the bishop maybe drops back, maybe h4 g5. Let's see what happens. So queen d2, rook c8. I mean, black is right there. I mean, he's game. I told you h4 is coming. Bishop takes, e takes. That's a huge decision. And the problem right now is black cannot get in at all. Black has no moves. And now Hans opens the door for his queen. f5. And the other idea here is that if you take, I have absolutely no plan to take, and I have absolutely no plan to do this either. All I wanted was to open up your king, because now I will attack the pawn on e7, and I will only play g5 or queen g5 when I'm ready. Like, I can play queen g5 right now and just go on this big attack. Hans does it this way, forces the queen to now no longer have any vision there, plays g5 now, because now the point is that you can take, and that's threat. And when he gets kicked out, he just backs up. I mean, he's making it look so easy, just dances in, dances out, like, improves his position on all three sides of the board against the 2600 opponent, cracks open the center, walks the pawn into the black position, and look at this. I mean, his pieces are just firing everywhere. Just an amazing, amazing game here. Patient trading, queen c3, and queen e5. And black just has no moves. Legit, black has no moves. Black is about to get hit with this and this. I mean, just 4 out of 4. And I mean, Hans was slowed down. He drew a couple of games. But then you go a few rounds later in the event, he has the white pieces again. He's playing Aravind Chidambaram, I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly, from India. And this game was very weird. So, black, I think, blitzed out like 20 moves. I think the first 20 moves of this game, Aravind played instantly. Like, he did not think, if I remember correctly. And Hans just also, I mean, like, was playing relatively good pace, but he was thinking. And black was playing every move instantly. Castles, Hans played bishop g2, black played e5, shredding open the center, but Hans took a free knight. Black went here, and then tried to open up the center once again. And Hans was like, well, if I go here, there is a triple fork. Oh, wait, no, there's knight e3 of that move. Whoa. Ah, you have to play knight c5 first. Yeah. Duh. And the point is that if you take, then I go check, and the king is in the center, and black is winning. Like, king e1, and here you play this, and that, I mean, that's... I mean, you know, but here's the problem. Hans just didn't do that, and then he just traded and was just up a bishop. So, Aravind played an insane line. I don't know if he mixed up his prep. I don't know if he decided he was just going to go completely all out. But it seemed like in this game that black played prep, which was like, if white plays all the right moves, white is not better, white is winning. That happens sometimes in prep. But it's like winning like up a pawn. In this case, the guy gets out of the prep, and the guy just has a bishop. Like, all things being equal, black has no more attack. And Hans just consolidates, activates his bishop, and just has to, like, break out of his position. And he just plays this move. And then just very slowly, very methodically, just defends his position, defends his king, and the bishop is coming. And the pawns are going. The bishop on f1 is about to get out. And it gets out in a very emphatic way. It just takes the pawn that's been oppressing it. Because the pawn can't take, because queen takes rook. Rook g1 is terrifying, but there's nothing. There's nothing. All the pawns have fallen. The white king is just standing there. There is absolutely nothing. And Hans wins yet another game. And I mean, it's just like walking on water. I mean, it's just... He just beats another 2600 GM. I've beaten like 3 of them in my life. He's just beaten 3 right in this video or something. I mean, it's unbelievable. And he, like I said, he drew some game And I think the last game that he won, this is the penultimate round, and Hans is yet again playing a member of the Turkish delegation. I mean, all the Turkish delegation was just coming at him. This game was weird. Hans played a Caro, love it. He played a Tartakower, love it. And his opponent played Knight G3, which I have not seen at a high level. Because it allows H5 and H4, which I just never thought people allowed. And then the knight dances back. And I mean, Hans just got like a very pleasant position, it felt like. I was a little perplexed why he didn't take right away. I thought that was sort of the idea, but he decided just to do it this way. And yeah, the players got a very imbalanced game. White forced him to do that, and then played like this. Hans played bishop h6, trying to get a trade. And e5, very sharp game. Very sharp game. Gokar Khan had definitely a pleasant, I thought, position from the opening with all his aggressive intentions, but the Karo Khan is rock solid. And I mean, as you can see here, Black just doesn't really experience any sort of weaknesses. Hans kicks out the rook and creates this big barrier of dark squares. Beautiful barrier. That side of the board is completely shut down. And now it's going to be time to, like, rotate. You got to, like, rotate the forces. Knight going to f4. So, probably got to take it. And, yeah, I mean, he's got another knight. And here comes the rook. And here comes the other rook. Rook trade. And he just gives a check. And he's just going to win a pawn. You could block, but I got my knight coming to c4. You could stop that. I got my queen nice and centered. The queen is threatening to get in on 3 different fronts. And, yeah, I mean, just a6. And just when you thought that Hans was going to win this game in a 90-move endgame, White goes here. Like to play and win. Queen takes knight. Brutal. Oh my. Oh my, oh my. It's a sacrifice tactic, it's a fork tactic, it's an attraction tactic. Knight c4, and Black just wins. And you can make this even more savage. If king to d1 in this position, you know what I would play? I wouldn't give any I would play this. You might as well, right? Just force them to take, and then knight c4. Now, the incredible thing is, in the last round of this tournament, Hans was playing Black against Kirill Alexyenko, who ended up winning the entire event. Hans was half a point away, so all Kirill needed was a draw. And Hans played for a win with Black, and he almost won. He ended up drawing the game, and he ended up winning the tie breaks against Amin Tabatabai, who's a very strong player from Iran, and Hans got second place. So he gets second place. His live rating is 2,706, which is his highest rating ever. He goes undefeated in the event. I think he lost in one of the Blitz playoffs against Tabatabai. Tabatabai also had a monster event. And the whole event was quite cool. They play... I don't know if you can hear that. There's like someone trying to start a monster truck outside or something. I don't know what's going on. It's Christmas. I don't know what people are doing. Go back inside. So just a very, very nice event from him. I mean, honestly, like, he has been on fire. Very curious to see what happens in this event in Kazakhstan. So, just so you are aware, the tournament in Kazakhstan that's about to start, I'm trying to find an article on chess.com, but I might just tell you on chess24. They're all the same thing now. So basically, the World Rapid and Blitz is it's a 5-day event. 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. They're separate tournaments. First, they play the Rapid. So I believe the Rapid is I think it's 12 rounds, but it could be 14. Like, it changes. It might be 15 over 3 days. It's like 5-5-5 or something, or 5-5-4. But basically, it's all play all. So it's like, it's an open. It's not a world championship. That's a match. And you could play anybody. You could play anybody who has your amount of points. So you got Magnus there. You got Hikaru there. You got Wesley there. No, you don't. Wesley's not there. But you got Hans there. Magnus, Hikaru, Hans, all under... I mean, imagine going to take a piss. All right? You're trying to pee, And like the guy that's suing you for 100 million is, I mean, like, are they going to be allowed to use the same restroom? Seriously, I don't know. Oh, I'm so excited. And apparently there's like a media buzz there and everything. So I'm going to be giving you those recaps. I mean, listen, what happens when they play each other? Oh my God, I'm so mind blown. Like, how do you play a guy with whom you have such a thing going on? Is Hikaru going to play? Probably. I doubt Hikaru is going to resign. I can't see Hikaru. No, I can't see Hikaru being the kind of guy that like resigns before the game even starts. So this is like an overall update video, you know? It's been a while. The lawsuit is definitely not exactly speaking for itself. Hans is playing spectacular chess. We'll see if it carries over into the Rapid and Blitz. Hikaru just beat Magnus in the Speed Chess Championship, so, you know, he's on fire. He's the #1 Rapid rated player in the world, I think, and maybe Blitz too, but it's very close. So we're about to find out, folks. Now, listen, the broadcast of all the games sucks. It's at 4 a.m. Eastern. I think that's when the games start. So if you're not sleeping in California, you will probably be able to watch. But yeah, Kazakhstan's very far away, and I guess they just wanted to start it at like 1 p.m. local time or something. So it's rough. It's very rough, but it is what it is. I will be here with the recaps for you. If any of the games are good, just let me know in the comments, or I don't know, tag me somewhere. And yeah, Big Magnus Hans drama update video, and we're about to wrap up the year better than any sort of soap opera, any sort of crazy, you know, any sort of White Lotus season 2 plot twists. White Lotus was great, by the way. You should watch it. I'm so pumped. I have absolutely no idea what to expect. I hope there's drama. Yeah, I'm so pumped. So I'll see you for the first recap tomorrow, and let's make this a memorable World Rapid and Blitz. Best of luck to everybody playing, and best of luck to everybody trying to cover all of the drama that's yet to come. So cheers, y'all. Hope you have a good holidays, and I'll see you tomorrow for the first day of the World Rapid.